Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the debut of my brand new series, 32 mock drafts in 32 days, going through every single NFL team and giving them a full simulated 7-round mock draft, starting here today with the team that had the worst record in 2021, the Jacksonville Jaguars. And before I get into the PFF simulator to do the actual mock draft, I like doing this looking over the Jaguars' actual needs when it comes to the NFL draft. And really, it's a best player available situation. You take a look, offensive line, linebacker, defensive tackle, wide receiver, tight end. My main objectives when it comes to this draft is getting Trevor Lawrence help, getting him an elite tackle, getting him a solid wide receiver. You take a look at the salary cap situation. Jaguars have money to spend. You can get another receiver in free agency. You can get a pass rusher in free agency. They do have the number 1 overall pick. So let's get right into it. The first edition, 32 mock drafts in 32 days, starting with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm having a bad hair day or something. What is going on? All right, guys, here we go. The first edition, let's do it. Let me try and get this to full screen, and we will be picking with the Jacksonville Jaguars the full 7 rounds entering the draft. Right now, we don't have to wait at all. So you can take a look. The Jacksonville Jaguars, pick number 133, 65, 70, 103, 153. Okay, you get the gist. They do have a lot of picks. This is pretty impressive. And this is the first time I'm seeing this. The PFF finally has team needs and the Houston Texans every position. But Jacksonville, it actually has them at wide receiver, tight end, O-line, D-line. Okay, so when it comes to the first overall pick, I think a team like the Jaguars, who have the number 1 overall pick in any other year when there's like franchise quarterbacks that are available, you're trading down, right? You're getting more assets. You would trade to like the 7th or 8th position and then take a Garrett Wilson while also getting more assets. The problem is there's really no consensus elite quarterbacks, so no teams are going to want to give up a ton of draft capital to, get a quarterback. So with the number 1 pick, we will be actually drafting, and let's actually start this. I thought it was already started, but so they have Aiden Hutchinson, the number 1 overall player. A lot of people going to be picking Aiden Hutchinson number 1 overall. I think that's the stupidest thing. Aiden Hutchinson's a good player. He's number 10 on my big board. But in terms of, we want to get Trevor Lawrence help. And you take a look, we're looking at the offensive tackles. Evan Neal is someone I'm very interested in. Charles Cross, not so much. But we're actually going to, specify the offensive line. And guys, the guy I'm looking at the number 1 overall pick is Ikem Ekwonu, who is a guy I've scouted recently, I've fallen in love with. He is, I believe, a pure tackle. There were a few question marks about him being a potential guard at the NFL level. To me, he is a tackle. He can grow with Trevor Lawrence. It's really, in this situation, there are a lot of trades here. You can see it's whatever. We're not going to trade it. We're just going to go ahead and go with the offensive tackle from NC State University. If we can find him, he's ranked number 13th here. He's number 4 on my updated big board that I'm going to be coming out with. Ikem Ekwonu, and I think him and Trevor Lawrence growing as a pair. You don't need 5 superstar offensive linemen, but if you have a great left tackle, that is so huge for an offensive line. We're going to be going and drafting him, and Garrett Wilson went 12th. I'm just trying to see where some of these guys go. So the guy I'm hoping falls to 33 is David Bell, and I believe he will. Let's just make sure. So let's just see who's on the board right now. So another tackle. Guys I'm really not interested in. This pass rusher from Penn State is interesting. We know Jacksonville. If I'm Jacksonville, I think I would probably go the free agency route in terms of pass rushers, or maybe draft a pass rusher 3rd or 4th round. Right here, I am looking for a receiver. Their team needs receiver, tight end, offensive line, defensive line. We got the offensive lineman. Let's go look at the receiver. And the guy I really have my eyes on is David Bell. And I know, the thing is, guys, I don't care if PFF ranks him 77th. It doesn't matter to me. Some of these guys they have above him is ridiculous. Justin Ross, he was injured the whole year. John Mechie is coming off an injury. I have no clue. David Bell is going to be a star. I've compared him to Cooper Kupp. He's going to be really good. He had a great career at Purdue, and you put him in the slot or on the outside. He could do either one. David Bell, also signing a receiver, Jacksonville. Now you're building a good offense. You've got your star offensive left tackle with your young quarterback. Now you've got a good young receiver. You can draft another one in free agency, and I have the 65th and then the 70th pick. So they've got a lot of draft capital to work with. We'll probably be looking for a pass rusher here. Oh, Brian Asamoah. Yeah, Brian, they do kind of need a linebacker. I love Brian Asamoah. The question is Miles Jack the same type of player as Brian Asamoah? Ooh, they also have this tight end. So Sky Moore here. There's also this kid, 5'10". See, this, I like this Sky Moore kid. He's too short. I'm not drafting receivers that are 5'10". I'm just not going to do it. But I do love me some Brian Asamoah. He's a good hybrid linebacker. Kyler Gordon is a guy that I know there's a few people that in mock drafts love Kyler Gordon, the cornerback from Washington. But I'm going to go ahead and say if I can get Asamoah and then Gordon, or maybe this tight end with, because the thing is I have the 70th pick too. But it's just like, is Asamoah and Miles Jack? I feel like Miles Jack is bigger. Asamoah is more of a hybrid linebacker, so I'm going to draft Asamoah 65th, and then we're going to go ahead and take. Oh, my goodness. The tight end got taken. So we're going to have to look. We may take another tackle here to boost the offensive line. So I am going to go along the D-line, and this is a guy I'm familiar with, Travis Jones from UConn. Draft him. What is his build? Hold on. 6'5", 333. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. You bring him in there. I still want another offensive lineman. So maybe with the 103, I'll draft an offensive lineman. But we are going to take Travis Jones here. And I probably will be looking for maybe even another receiver, but DB as well. We'll have to see. He's fallen. Jeremy Ruckert, that's a tight end I like. That's a lower tight end that you can draft. We know Jacksonville's in need of a tight end. Where's their next pick? 153. So what I am going to go ahead and do here is I am going to draft Jeremy Ruckert. I'm just going to draft him. Ohio State tight end. Ohio State does not use their tight ends well. Him at the combine will be interesting. This is a guy, if he tests well at the combine, he can be a clear second-round pick. Right now, I think I'm getting him in the third round, drafting Jeremy Ruckert. So we're really hitting on all the team needs. I'm still looking for preferably another offensive tackle or a swing tackle, and then also a defensive back. Those are the positions I'm looking for targeting late now. Pick 153. James Cook, they really don't need. Well, you've got Travis Etienne is coming back. A lot of people don't remember they still have Travis Etienne, so really no need for a running back. There's a lot of running backs here. Ooh, maybe I should have waited. I like Cole Turner. I do like me some Dontario Drummond. I like Dontario Drummond. Maybe that's who I go with here. I just think I do at this point need to take. Oh, this kid's not athletic. 320. How many sacks? 9 sacks. I feel like I do need to take a pass rusher very soon. I want to take Alec Lindstrom or Dontario Drummond, but to me right now with the receiver position with Jacksonville, if you take David Bell, you get another receiver in free agency. You already have Marvin Jones Jr. and Laviska Shenault under contract. I don't see the need to invest another pick into a receiver, so I think I'm going to take the I think they do have a center. I'm going to take this athletic pass rusher. Or this let me look at all the pass rushers available. Because we do have a lot of picks left. I don't want to take a no-name. Isaiah Thomas, Jesse Luckett, Nolan Smith. I think Nolan Smith went back to college. They need to update this. There really aren't any good pass rushers left. We're going to go ahead and go with this pass rusher from Iowa State. We're going to go ahead and do that. I think at this point, I'm just going to take best available. Really, no need to take receivers. I like this. I'm going to take Cole Turner. I'm taking 2 tight ends. Okay, Luke Farrell is like their only tight end on the roster. We're going to take another tight end. Maybe an offensive tackle. Patrick Paul. We share the same first name. Matthew Butler, huh? I feel like we need to take another tackle. Take another random tackle, get more depth at that position. Let me just go to the tackles and see who's left legitimately. What did this kid grade out? 82? Decent grade. Patrick Paul, 72. We're just seeing, a lot of these kids, it's just going to be are just going to be taken based on potential and upside. So I know this kid from LSU was a high recruit, but we're just going to take the top tackle left just to get more depth. And we also, they have a lot of picks left. So Isaiah Thomas, we'll take another edge rusher, Isaiah Thomas. And then, you get the depth. Maybe Matthew Butler. Who else do I need? Who I should look for as a cornerback? I'm looking for a DB. Either a safety or a CB. Connor what did this kid grade out? I just look, this kid graded a 65. No wonder he's ranked so low. Do I recognize? Ooh, Isaiah Taylor Stewart. He was a former top recruit. Let's see if I well, I'm not going to recognize any of them. Kalen Barnes. Boy, they're slim pickings. Again, maybe this is a position they can go out and get in free agency. Cornerbacks are tough to develop when it comes to the draft. Josh Thompson. Boy, none of these kids are any good, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to take a cornerback just to take a cornerback. What about a safety? Kendrick Duncan. You know what? I think we might go with Percy Butler. Yeah, we're going to go with Percy Butler from Louisiana. I like that. I like that pick right there. I like that. Again, a lot of it's best player available, guys. Do the Rams have 3 straight picks? What the? They do. They have 3 straight picks. That's hilarious. Round 7. So we're on to round 7. This is my last pick. So we might go ahead and go with a center here. I do like Kennedy Brooks' value, but there's no need for a running back. Let's just take someone I'm familiar with, maybe a high upside guy. Wow, this quarterback from Western Kentucky fell this far? No, we're going to take a high upside guy. This kid is literally, PFF has to do a better job. This kid is on South Carolina. He transferred. He hit the transfer portal. He's not in the draft, folks. Come on, PFF. Harry Miller. Harry Miller is returning to Ohio State. None of these kids are even draft eligible at this point. Oh my goodness. We'll take the center. We'll take the big boy center. And that'll do it for the Jacksonville Jaguars draft. So we're going to recap it. Wow, the Chargers have 3 7th-round picks. Wow, Calvin Austin III. Okay, I will say I should have taken, I did not know, Calvin Austin III, the receiver for Memphis. I am going to be tagging him in every one of my mock drafts. I don't know, I didn't see him. But overall, this is my mock draft. So if I was Jacksonville, what I would do in free agency is I would go sign a cornerback. I would go sign a really good receiver to pair with David Bell. And again, you've also got Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones is a good number 3. And you also probably need another tackle. But this kid, it's either him or Evan Neal. And I like Ekwonu more right now. I just think he's a bigger body. There's more bulk there. We'll have to see what ends up happening when it comes to his combine. And then the 2 tight ends, really, Cole Turner I like a lot. Rutgert is another one. Maybe you could argue in the Rutgert spot or even in the Travis Jones spot, I should have taken a pass rusher. But I do like my defensive haul, especially Brian Asamoah. I think that guy's a first rounder. He is what you want in a modern day hybrid linebacker if you guys don't know who he is. And then all this is just really depth. It is what it is. But Calvin Austin III, the receiver who's going in the 7th round out of Memphis, that kid needs to be picked. If you're doing mock drafts, pick that kid. But overall, guys, team number 1 is in the books. Do I download this? What do we do here? What if I do this? I downloaded it. All right, so I downloaded the mock draft. I don't know what that does, but overall, what is this thing? Oh, this is the entire draft. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for my Jacksonville Jaguars. We're getting Trevor Lawrence help. That's the name of the game. They also need a linebacker. They need defense. We understand that. But get him a franchise left tackle, a tackle that he can grow with. You know, get him. Don't take Aiden Hutchinson first overall. It makes no sense. He's a decent pass rusher, but you have to go with the bulk. You got to go with the franchise tackle. You don't need to invest a ton, but the number 1 pick, an offensive tackle, is worthy of the number 1 pick if you already have a quarterback. Also, round 2, I think it's a must. Take a young receiver. David Bell is my guy. There were other receivers on the board. George Pickens, we'll have to see how he runs at the combine, but that is the Jacksonville Jaguars 2022 7th-round mock draft. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.